Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I've had this one for a bit. I didn't want to rush and make a video, but I also don't really need 20 minutes to cover it. So here's a quick take that took a while to get to. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this great discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Alright, enough talk. Let's get right into it.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer was incredibly impressed by the vendor's determination to ensure customer happiness. Needing a way to power a CPAP machine for an extended trip that included primitive off-grid camping, our reviewer was drawn to this portable power station, specifically because of its ability to charge directly from a solar panel. While new to solar setups, this client found the option very appealing and purchased a separate, well-regarded solar panel to go with it. Unfortunately, a compatibility issue arose. It seems the solar panel's output was too powerful for the power station, and after a few hours connected in partial sunlight, the unit stopped charging by any method. Our reviewer is quick to point out that this was not a fault of the device itself, as the input limitations are clearly stated in the specifications. It was simply a user error from unknowingly exceeding that limit. What happened next is what truly stood out. After returning the damaged power station via shipping service, this client sent the tracking number to the company. The vendor immediately shipped a replacement, which arrived just 2 days later. The responsiveness was remarkable. Now, our reviewer is happily prepared for the trip, knowing the device can run the CPAP machine for about 12 hours without the humidity function. The unit itself looks and feels very durable, offering a versatile range of outputs, including DC, USB, and standard household-style plugs. The bottom line from this experience is that both the product and the company behind it are of exceptionally high quality.
Alright, let's find out what our next reviewer has to share.
This reviewer initially had mixed feelings about this power station, but a recent experience with customer service has significantly improved their outlook. Originally, this client found this device fantastic for light use. For instance, it powered their CPAP machine without the humidifier for 2 whole nights on a single charge, which was a definite win. The only real downside initially was the slow recharge time, and they hadn't even gotten around to testing the solar input. However, after about 6 months, something went wrong. Our reviewer plugged in a device that apparently drew too much power from the AC port, causing the unit to shut down as expected. The problem was that it never turned back on. It wouldn't recharge past a single bar, and none of the power outlets worked anymore. Despite this setback, our reviewer contacted the vendor and was pleasantly surprised by their willingness to replace the unit, even after 6 months of use. The process was incredibly smooth. The client was asked to mail the damaged unit, and a replacement arrived just 2 days later. The new power station arrived with a good charge and quickly reached full capacity overnight. All the outlets are functioning correctly. Now it's just a matter of time to see if this new one holds up as well as the first one did before the incident. Thanks to the vendor for providing such great support, resolving the issue quickly and efficiently.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer wanted to share their experience with this portable power station. It arrived already fully charged, which was a nice start. They ran a quick test by charging a phone using both the USB port and the AC outlet. It seemed to work fine, although they noticed the fan started making a strange cycling noise, on for a second, off for 2. Their guess is that because the phone was already mostly charged, the adapter was cycling to slow down the charging process, which meant the inverter needed to dissipate heat intermittently. The real test came when this client used it overnight with their CPAP machine. They usually run it with fairly high heat and humidity, but lowered the settings a bit to conserve power. It ran all night, about 7.5 hours, and still had about 1.5 bars of battery life left. Our reviewer recently updated their review after taking it camping in cold temperatures. They had to lower the humidity and tube temperature even further on their CPAP, and noticed the battery drained noticeably faster than it had at home. However, it still lasted the entire night. They recharged it during the day, and the following night, with the humidity and tube heat completely off, they woke up with about 2 bars remaining. The client is still happy with this purchase, but is already planning to get a more powerful unit for future camping trips in similar conditions. This client got it for a great price, making it an excellent value for the money.
That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Let's chat in the comments. See you in the next one.